Well, hello. Hello. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Rafael, and I'm from Brazil. Oh, Brazil is in the house here. Thank you very much. I'm a lecturer of statistics in Maynooth, but I didn't start my academic career as a statistician. Okay, nowadays we call it data scientist. Yeah, you go to a party and you say you're a statistician, and people just want to get away from you. But if you tell people you're a data scientist, they draw their wallets and, oh, here's some money for you, yeah. Buzzwords, artificial intelligence, all that. But yeah, so I didn't start as a statistician, I started as a biologist. I used to be a biologist. But I also wanted to be a mathematician. So in the end, I just did the logical thing and I became neither. Yeah. But nowadays, I think that actually worked out really well for me because everything is kind of interdisciplinary. So I was actually writing a grant proposal a couple of months ago, and one of the questions in the application form was, is your research interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, or transdisciplinary? And my answer was, yes. It is, because I have no idea what the difference between those words are. But yeah, nowadays I'm a lecturer of statistics, but I'm not really sure what I am. So if I could actually put myself, with one word, that word would be weird. Because quite frankly, about 99% of everything that goes through my head is pure disease. And I've actually said that to my wife at our first date. But it worked out because she's here. So she's still here. Honesty pays off, right? Interdisciplinary honesty. Yeah, so, all I know is that my projects involve ecology, maths, and stats, and these are disciplines that I like the most. But and that's why I think it's quite hard to fit my expertise within one box. But most of the time, I think it's quite hard to actually admit that I have any expertise at all. And I am one of the big sufferers of one of the greatest fiends of all academics, the imposter syndrome. And mine's a real stickler. My imposter syndrome is so bad that if I was acting editor-in-chief of a journal that I myself had founded, more than likely I would desk reject my own editorials. I would. And it's only got worse since the lockdown started. It's only gotten worse. It's really bad to just not know what's going on, and you just try really hard to just do something out of it, and you don't really know whether it's good or not. You don't think you're good enough anyway. That's what imposter syndrome is like. You just think you're an imposter. You don't know. You just don't know what it's like. But there's two things that I did the most over the lockdowns: eating and getting papers rejected. Every single week. At least that's something I really like doing. Eating, not getting papers rejected. But I suppose rejection is something you really need to learn how to deal with when you're an academic. It's absolutely everywhere. You send a paper in, more likely than not, you're gonna get rejected for one reason or another reason, or as I like to say, sometimes for no reason at all, right? Because my papers are so good, you know. Why would you reject it, you know? I suppose you just need to learn not to take things personally. And it takes time. It took me quite a long time, but now I learned, and I affectionately nicknamed it the Brazilian-Irish way of dealing with rejection. I just curse at the editor behind their backs. So you do something like, oh, that's okay. I completely understand. You can't accept my paper at this time. That's fine. I'll try and look for another outlet for my work. Thanks so much. Have a great day. You bastard. And this actually reminds me of something that happened last week. And I swear to God, this is true. Happened last week. There's this brilliant PhD researcher. She's working with me on estimating animal abundance for vertebrate communities. So that's in a biological conservation context. So she's creating these really cool Bayesian models, data science, you know. And then she submitted her first paper. And that's what I like to call trial by fire. She sent it in. The very next day, there's a response from the journal. But it was actually okay. So the journal was like, oh, we want you to change the formatting, okay? So just change the spacing, change the size of the words. That's fine, we can do that. So we did it, sent the paper back in, second time submitting it. It took a week this time. Okay, a week after, the editor comes back and is like, oh, so I kind of want you to put together a new appendix, and that's gonna kind of help people understand, or maybe when we send it to reviewers, it will help them understand what you're doing. So I'd like a new appendix on this, this, and this. Sure, okay, why not? We put together the appendix, sent the paper back in a third time. And I do not joke, within the hour, this chap called Brad sent us an email on behalf of the journal asking us to redo the formatting again, including, but not limited to, removing 2 pages from the paper, since like the last 6 pages were pretty much empty because of all the formatting we had to do in the past. What's going on, Brad? Like, it was fine last week, and now it's just not fine again. One minute it's fine, and now it's not. What do you want, Brad? What do you want? Like, I hate you, Brad. I absolutely despise you. But I suppose if there's one thing that academics need to learn how to do to get papers over the line is to maybe speak in code. And don't get me wrong, we speak in code, our reviewers know what we mean, and we know they know what we mean. So I'll give you a couple of examples. We have to write rebuttal letters. Anybody here likes doing that? Absolutely despise it. I mean, anyway, yeah, you have to do it. And you have to be very polite about it. And sometimes you don't want to, but you kind of have to. So I'll give you a couple of examples of translations of what things that we mean when we write a rebuttal letter. So when we say something like, oh, thanks so much for that suggestion. We'll be sure to check that out in the future. What we actually mean is, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. Please don't ask me that ever again. I don't know. And sometimes reviewers they're kind of cheeky. They kind of use us for us to do their own experiments or whatever they want. So they say something like this. I'd be really interested in seeing what would happen if you did A, B, and C. And typically our response is something like, wow, thanks very much for your interest, but unfortunately this is beyond the scope of our work. What we actually mean is, I don't want to do this. If I wanted to do this, I would have done it. Okay? Who do you think you are to tell me to do these things? Right? If you're really interested in doing these things and knowing what would happen if I did A, B, and C, why don't you write your own multi-inter trans-cross-disciplinary grant, get your funding, and then do it yourself? And then when you send your paper in, I'll make sure to be the reviewer. And you know what I'm gonna write in the review? Wow, that looks so interesting. I'd be interested in seeing what would happen if you did A, B, C, D, E. And I'll make sure to go over the alphabet at least twice. Okay? Yes, the vindictive scientist, as I like to call it, but never have I ever done any of that. Right. Rejection is part of my life, and I've written a song about rejection. So, you guys want to hear it? Yeah. So, do you know that chap, Ed Sheeran? Yes. So, maybe if you're going to relate to the words, maybe you're going to relate to the melody. But if Ed Sheeran's got bad habits, I got bad reviews. Right, let's see if this works now. Oh, thank you. Is it okay? Thank you. You can sing along, okay? Every time I click submit, the editor says no. They say they got a desk reject, and so I've no control. Maybe it's 'cause my cover letter had the wrong journal, or my H index is only 4. My latest paper got redacted Saturday night. They thought I couldn't even put up a fight. They said I shouldn't resubmit, but I probably might. I got nothing left to lose or use or do. These bad reviews got me stress eating all over the place. Maybe I can blame the lockdown for putting on weight. I must embrace being rejected, must be my fate. That's academia for you. It's true, there's bad reviews waiting for you. There's bad reviews waiting for you. My imposter syndrome's always very much alive. All I get from all my work's a preprint on archive. And as my academic life goes under rose and rocks, a message pops out from my inbox. A paper's been out for review for 17 months. Now reviewers ask for stuff that I barely know. Hope this round will be the last, but it probably won't. I revise and resubmit. Oh wait, no shit, my imposter syndrome's hit. Now I can't concentrate. I've been stuck with this review for 20 weeks straight. I must embrace being rejected, must be my fate. That's academia for you. It's true, there's bad reviews waiting for you. There's bad reviews waiting for you and for me every day. Thanks very, very much. It was a pleasure to be here. Thanks very much. And Brad, if you're listening to this, please don't reject a paper. Don't take it personally, okay? Just do the Brazilian Irish way. Call me a bastard, we'll be fine. Thanks very much. Good night.